Let's talk about the speculative presentation. Now, a speculative presentation is what the agency will make to the company. They want to win their business because advertising for a company is what brings in money for the agency. So when you do a speculative presentation, in a way, you're selling a product, which is your ideas. So think of your ideas as a product because that is what's getting you business. So you need to convince the company why your ideas are the best ones. Because remember, in most circumstances, you will be competing with another agency. So you want to make sure that you have the best idea to advertise for the company. Now, as far as who's presenting, sometimes the company will require someone from the agency to make the presentations. More often than not, it'll be the account executive, but if there's no actual requirements, choose the best presenters from the agency. You want to make sure that it's someone who is good at public speaking because if they're not, it could be very disastrous. And another thing about that is preparation is critical. Make sure that if you have a chance to, make sure that the agency goes to the company goes to where they're going to have the speculative presentation so they can have a feel for the room, they can know how big the room is, they can work with the technology if they're using a PowerPoint, that they can get familiar with the computer that they're going to be doing it on so that by the time they do the presentation, they're not going to have any technical difficulties, and that could be very disastrous as well and could cause the other company to win just because you had a technical difficulty that wasn't your fault, but you could have prevented it by going to the room first and checking it out. And another important thing is you must choreograph your presentation. Make sure you know where you're going to stand, what you're going to do with your hands, how you're going to plant your feet on the ground, because you want to make sure that you're confident. If you're fiddling with your fingers while you're making the presentation, it's not a good look. So you must choreograph your every move. Now, at the end of the speculative presentation, you will often leave a thing called a leave behind. Now, this leave behind, it includes the things that are too complex to present. Now, this is where the research department comes in when they're looking up statistics and telling, why this is the best campaign to go with. A lot of times they will research the target market and have a whole lot of statistics for the company to see afterwards and say, okay, this campaign actually would work because of these statistics. Now, if you don't get the business, you can ask the company for a debriefing. And the debriefing, it'll pretty much, it's when the company will tell you what you did right, what you did wrong, what you could have done better, why you didn't actually get their business. And sometimes, because you ask for a debriefing, they will hire you for the next account because they will have respect for you wanting to know what you can do better and not just being sour about not getting the business. Unfortunately, if you do lose accounts, you may need to lower wages within the agency or lay some people off because an advertising agency is a business as well. They need to make money by getting business from companies. So if you are in a dry spell, in a drought, and you can't get any business, unfortunately, you're going to have to let some people go. So that's the speculative presentation.